Hey guys, we are in the basement and today guys, on this episode of John's Arcade. Well guys, this is it. Part number 9 or 10, what is it, of the Mortal Kombat Restore. Yeah, we're going to the garage, guys. And yes, I'm back. And yes, iRobot's still down. The power supply should be here soon. We'll put that in, put it back in its hole, and it should be working again. But anyway, yes, I am back. Did you guys miss me? You know, 2 weeks ago, I was in the UK, Manchester, and it was pretty amazing. I have to say, everyone I met, I want to thank you guys, because you guys are all truly awesome. I really felt welcome. I couldn't believe, honestly, how many people came up to me. I mean, it was unbelievable. I had no idea this was going on there. So everyone, thank you for coming and meeting me. It was truly amazing. Of course, I have to thank James Brindle from Retro Games Party. You know, he put on an amazing show at Play Expo Manchester. He brought over 120 games there. I met a ton of people. I spent some time with James. We did a video. Yes, there's videos coming. I filmed a bunch of videos. We'll be releasing those probably the next couple of weeks. And then also, at the end of this video too, we're going to talk a little bit more about Play Expo. I got a bunch of emails and even some video we'll share here at the end of the video. But really, I want to thank everyone I met, especially James Brindle. Of course, Alex from Nintendo Arcade. He really took good care of me. Harry, Harry, I love you. He drove me all around, picked me up at the airport, and of course, Andy at Arcade Club, and everybody I met. It was truly a whirlwind of a trip. It was amazing. It's so great, Arcade Club. Badass, by the way. So we'll be revisiting that all soon. I have tons of videos. But anyway, in this video here, though, we got to work on the Mortal Kombat because winter's coming, and I got to get this thing done. So we'll do the UK stuff in a few weeks. But right now, my priority is to get that cabinet done and get it down here before it gets too darn cold. So anyway, enough of that. Let's just go to the garage. Let's get to work on the Mortal Kombat 2. In this video here, we're going to be focusing on the black vinyl and all that, and also look at the control panel. So anyway, enough of that. Let's go to the garage, and let's get to work on the Mortal Kombat 2. All right, guys, we are back in the garage, and yes, we're gonna work on the Mortal Kombat 2. So let's review. What did we do in the last video? Well, the last video, we removed the original sanded, painted over, trashed artwork, okay? And then we sanded the cabinet smooth, got all the original clear coat off of here, and it's pretty smooth right now. We also removed the vinyl, the black vinyl from the front, and we also plugged up the holes here because we had some lock bar holes. So we filled that with dowels and Bondo and sanded it smooth. It looks terrific, okay? We also sharpened up the edges with some Bondo. Actually, prior to this video and since the last video, I kind of came back and touched up some of the Bondo. I wasn't happy with some of the edges, so we have a nice sharp edge on the bottom now and in the back also. And then also before this video, and since the last one, to save time, I spray painted the sides with polyurethane. So I used this Minwax fast drying polyurethane. So I sprayed the sides, the raw particle board, and then I let it dry. I waited for it to dry overnight, and then I sanded it smooth with 320. So it's relatively smooth now. We're totally ready for the artwork. It feels pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's very close. And honestly, we could just sit here sanding these sides forever trying to get it perfect, but I think it's really close right now. And we're ready for the artwork. And really, you want to get this as smooth as you can because every little bump and ding and imperfection will transfer through the artwork and you'll be able to see it. But before we could do any of that, though, I want to touch up the black because you can see here we have some Bondo work because originally they spray painted the edge of the particle board black. And we have some raw kind of Bondo here. We got spray paint. And then also some guys, when they do the full side art on the particle board, they will kind of spray paint black all around the perimeter of the particle board. I think they do this so that it doesn't show the raw particle board color if the artwork were to come back a little bit, because with the T-molding, when you put it on, it will kind of push the artwork back a little bit. So I think what we're gonna do is we'll just kind of frame the whole thing with some black spray paint. I don't want to go crazy with it though, but that's where we're going to start now. We're going to let that dry then afterwards, and we'll come back and put the vinyl and the artwork on. So we're going to use some rust-oleum universal satin paint and primer in one. This is my go-to spray paint. And we're just going to kind of freeform this. I'm not going to really go crazy masking things off, but we'll just kind of go through here like this and just spray paint the edges and also the perimeter, and we'll kind of touch up the speaker grill area and all that, and just in general touch up all of the black before we put the artwork on. So let's kind of come in here and we'll just kind of go like this. just like so. And we'll just kind of at an awkward angle here. And I just kind of want to just basically touch up the edges here with black. I don't want to go too crazy, and we might sand this really quick before we put the side art on. I really don't want to put a lot of paint on this. I'm not really sure if this is necessary, but we'll do it nonetheless. And then we'll kind of just go across the bottom here. I should probably put some cardboard down so I don't paint the floor. Oops. Let's get some cardboard underneath there. Like so. And then we'll just kind of come down here and just touch up the bottom. And then I want this to dry overnight. So you can see my Bondo work right here. Okay, and then we'll kind of come in here. All right, so I think that's pretty good enough for the sides there. And then we want to get this edge right here because this is all kind of marred up from our working on it. And then let's kind of take a look around here. Get some cardboard. So when I put the black vinyl on the front here, I'm going to go to the T-molding groove, and then the T-molding will go on top of it. So I don't think we really need to go too crazy up here. This all looks pretty decent. So let's see, we got the T-molding edge. Let's come up here. We got to touch this area up. That looks good. Doesn't take much. And then right here, I want to do the inside edge here. Because I think you could see that. And then let's come in here and just do this post. Okay, that looks pretty sharp. And then let's come in here and we'll do this edge. Then let's get the other edge here. And then we'll do the bottom. Yeah, I know, I'm painting my garage floor. Okay, looks pretty decent. And then let's come in here and get this black edge. I'll get this in here. And then I want to get this inside edge because I do believe that you can see this. And I did kind of clean the whole cabinet. Debating if I want to paint the speaker area. Feels a little unnecessary. Let's come in here. This is awkward. Looks good. And then I want to come back down here. paint all that. Okay. And then we just basically need to frame this side. I'm not going too crazy with the paint. I don't want to. Okay, and then I think we should get our cardboard. Or the bottom here. Okay, and then we'll spray paint the bottom edge here. Basically, we just need to do this edge here and we're pretty much done. Okay, let's kind of take a look around here and see if everything looks pretty okay. And then depending on how the paint feels after it dries, I might go through it and sand it. I'm just wondering what I want to do. If I want to spray paint that, I kind of feel like I should. We should probably tape off the speaker. I can remove the speakers. Where's my masking tape? Yeah, let me get the masking tape. I think I'm gonna just jam some here on the speaker holes, and then we'll spray paint that real quick. Hang on, let me find the masking tape. All right, so I'm just gonna come in here and just kind of mask this area off, just so we don't spray the speakers. Of course, I could remove the speakers. This would probably be quicker and easier. Just kind of jam this in here. All this is going to be behind a metal grill. I mean, you're not going to really see it. But we'll just kind of freshen it up. All right, that looks fine. So let's hit that. We'll just kind of touch all this up. I don't really think you're going to see it, but I'll do it nonetheless. Some dust on here. All right, that's good enough. Okay, so I think that's it for the black. Let's kind of look all around, see if we missed anything. No, I think the black looks pretty good. What do you guys think? And then depending on how it feels after it dries, I might lightly sand this. I think right here. I hit it a little bit more. Okay. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let this dry overnight, okay? Because I don't want to put the artwork or the vinyl on a wet cabinet, and I wanna make sure this paint is really dry. So we're gonna let this dry overnight, and we'll come back tomorrow, and then we'll put the vinyl on the front. All right. I'm gonna go play Mario Odyssey right now. Woot. All right, guys, it's the next day here. How do we look? We're all dry. I think it looks just fine. I did take my sander just as an experiment and just kind of went over this with 320 just to kind of knock down the high points. We'll probably do that really fast before we put the artwork on. Now, I have to tell you something, though. So you guys might have seen, I posted a photo on my Instagram at John's Arcade showing the artwork, because I do have the artwork, but there's an issue with it, and Rich was going to send me another set of art for this cabinet that was supposed to arrive yesterday, Saturday. Well, it didn't show up, so I don't have the artwork now to put on this cabinet today, Sunday, because that was the plan. So I guess we're gonna have to just put the black vinyl on, and then we'll see what else we can do today. But I'm kind of bummed though, because I really wanted to put the side art on today, but it's not happening. So it's gonna have to happen the next video. And yeah, it's getting like cold. It's like today it's raining right now. The garage door's shut. It's like 60 degrees, so we are definitely under the gun here to finish this. And I was thinking about this last night. I'm like, well, if we can get all the cosmetic stuff done, I could bring the cabinet downstairs, and right? Because then we just need to wire it and put the monitor in and stuff. So whatever. Let's keep going, though. Right now, though, what I want to do is I want to tack the front of the cabinet. And I was thinking about that, too, because I have some black vinyl that we're going to put on here, right? And by the way, this is all pretty smooth. The spray paint, like, I don't feel a transition from the spray paint to the wood. So I don't know if we need to sand that or not, but we'll take a look at it. But anyway, I'm looking at the front here, and I'm wondering if we could put the black vinyl on here without filling the coin door holes. Because what happens is when you try to put artwork over a kick plate like that with the holes, the artwork, the vinyl is going to want to like droop into the hole. So we got to make sure we keep it really tight as we apply it. I don't really have any wood on hand to cut something to fill that. So that's the issue right now. Or do I? I don't think I do. I only have like 1x4s, which I guess we could use. Let's see how it behaves without. So let's put the cabinet on its back. And it's kind of tight in here because I got my lawnmower in here. I usually put it outside when we do these videos. We can also pull out the masking tape from the speaker holes here. So that all looks real good. And this area up here anyway is going to get covered with the metal mesh that goes over that. So, okay, let's take a peek here. So here's where we're going to work first. We're going to cover the front of this with vinyl. It feels pretty good. It's a little gummy down there. Let's just, this 320 grit, if you just do it really fast, just kind of get the high points off. I don't want to like sand all the paint away. But I want to, if I can make it a little bit smoother, I want to do that. Yeah, it feels smooth. Okay, so let's take a look at our vinyl here. And we're going to use the wet method, I believe. We're going to use my Rapid Tack with this. So this vinyl here, I got from a friend. And every time I use it, I've used it a few times. We used it in the iRobot video. Because my iRobot, the one side, the vinyl, the original vinyl, the Atari vinyl was all like torn up and stuff. So we used this on one side. And it turned out actually really well. Okay. And a friend of mine got out of the hobby and he gave this to me, but I'm looking at the box he gave me. This came from This Old Game. So This Old Game sells this. And it's nothing more than just black vinyl. And it's a great alternative to painting. So we want to find an area here that's kind of nice. Let's see. Okay, I don't think it's going to go in the holes too much. So we're going to have to cut this down though. And hopefully I have a nice sharp X-Acto blade here. So I need to leave enough so we could do the little sides too, which I don't think is going to be a problem. So my plan here with this vinyl is this. If you're to look here, down here, okay, I'm gonna have the vinyl go all the way to the T-molding groove, and then we'll cut it in the groove. And then when we put the T-molding on here, because this kick panel is flush with the T-molding groove, when we put the T-molding on, it'll actually, the vinyl will be underneath one half of it, okay? And that's gonna look really clean and really original. All right, so let's cut this down. I should probably get my scissors. And we can just kind of cut it to size a little bit bigger than the cabinet. And try not to waste too much of this. This is great stuff to have on hand, though. This is a real nice alternative to. Is this scuffed up? This is a really nice alternative to painting and the vinyl. I mean the laminate. I'm just gonna cut it down here because it looks like this stuff's kind of scuffed over here. Okay. All right, so then this is gonna go here. And let me cut it left to right. Actually, no, let's cut the length now. Okay. All right, so I basically cut it top and bottom larger than the area. And then now we can kind of come in here, and I think I'll cut the width. It'd probably be better if I used a straight edge and did this cleanly so that these remnants I'm removing can be reused later, but whatever. Okay. All right, so that's it. That's our spot. So let's clean this surface really well. Actually, we can clean it with the Rapid Tack. So I'm going to spray, oh, by the way, this is Rapid Tack. This is a cleaner and application fluid. I got this on Amazon. This is what all the vinyl, like car guys use, you know, to apply those decals and wraps on cars. And this stuff is really great. And you can use it to clean the surface before you put the vinyl down, which I'm doing right now, okay? And then you can also use it to prevent bubbles and all that. And because you're putting this liquid down, it makes it so that if you screw up, you can lift the artwork back up. It's funny, I did kind of sand a lot of the black spray paint off. I think at the end of the day, I probably didn't even need to do that. It doesn't really matter. Okay, clean it again. Okay, so we're nice and clean. So let's get our piece of vinyl. Boy, this stuff really marks up easy, huh? Okay, so I think we should get some masking tape and we'll tape it down one side of it. So let's kind of center it. And because this is just black, you know, we don't really have to worry too much about anything, you know. Just gonna tape this end down. Like so. You know, come over here, same on this side. Because basically I'm gonna do one half at a time. It's really bunching up. I don't think that's going to work too well. I don't know if I need to tape this down. I don't think I've ever vinyled a kick plate like this before. The only time we ever did this was on the iRobot. I'm not sure I need to do all this. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do one half at a time. Yeah, let's roll this back without kinking it too much. Just want to make sure we have enough. This stuff does not want to roll back. See, what I'm trying to do right now is get this paper off, half of it. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove half the paper, okay, carefully. And no matter how many times you apply these vinyl decals, it's always stressful and hair-raising. Because if you screw it up, you really screw it up. This is rather awkward. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, so I'm going to cut the paper. Okay, so I have a little squeegee. Got that on Amazon. It came with the Rapid Tack. So let's go ahead and spray this. All right, so here we go. Just make sure. I'm just going to lay this down. This is not going well. Hang on. Let's try it like this. Okay. Looking kind of okay. So you could see that where this hole is here, it's causing weird stuff. All right, let's just keep going on here. If I really screw this up, I'll redo it. I hope I don't. Okay, so the rest of this now. So I got some of this backer wet. Shit. It doesn't want to come off. This shit is cheap and old, I think. The backer is kind of sticking to this. Oh man, this is a nightmare. Oh man. Boy, this stuff is cheap and wet. Guys, this is not going well. Look at this. All right. All right, so don't get this stuff wet, clearly. This cheap backer material, a lot different than the normal, like 3M high quality stuff I get from this old game. Oh, come on. Peel off. This sucks. All right. Boy, if this turns out good, it'll be a miracle. Son of a gun. Come on. This stuff is coming off in pieces. You can see what's happening here, right? So we got a big strip right here. Okay, this is mega annoying. I might have screwed this up so bad I gotta start over. I can't even get this off. And this isn't even wet here. carefully. Okay, so we're in the clear there. I just need to get this stuff off. This is so freaking annoying. Curious if that will do anything for me. All right. All right, let's go for it. Okay, let's come down here. So we got little kinks and stuff, scratches. Boy, this is a train wreck. I'm gonna cut it, see how it looks. If this looks like garbage, I'm gonna get new vinyl and we're gonna start over. Like right in here, doesn't look too hot. Let's just cut it real fast and see what it looks like. Okay. It does look kind of actually good now. So it's coming up a little bit right here, but that's gonna be hidden by the coin door. I'm looking at this, I'm wondering if I like it or not. There's just like little kinks everywhere. All right, let's cut this edge here. So I basically want to go inside the T-molding groove. What do you guys think? Shitty? It's not horrific, but it's not amazing. All right, so this edge is going to be tricky. Let me see if I have a sharper blade. All right, I just cut the bottom here with the new blade. So all I need to do right now is this left edge. I'm looking at this. I think this is going to be just fine. It's not perfect. There's little like marks in here from when I was trying to get the paper off, but I don't have any more of this on hand. So we're going to see how it looks when we put it upright. It's not perfect. It's probably like an 8 out of 10. But I think when we put the coin door on, you won't even notice everything. And obviously in the basement, you'll never see anything. Okay. It's definitely better than it was. This light is kind of magnifying everything too for me. All right, let's get this top area here. Oh my God, all right. Okay. All right, what do you guys think, huh? Was it a disaster? I think it's fine. It was hair raising. It's actually pretty similar. I think this vinyl is just thin and hard to work with. Because I remember when I did it on my iRobot, I wasn't super impressed with it. The alternative would be to use laminate, I guess, to get the best result. I mean, at the end of the day, laminate is it. You know, messing around with all this other stuff, the sanding and even this vinyl. So let's put this upright. We gotta work on these edges now. Let's see how it looks. All right. Let's see how it looks. I think it's fine. It's totally fine. We don't have any big wrinkles or anything. Yeah, I think it looks totally fine. It was a little stressful, but it'll do. And once we throw the coin doors on there and the control panel, whatever little dots or whatever I have in here, you won't see. And it feels crazy smooth, by the way. All right, so we gotta do the sides now, which is gonna be a little bit trickier. So I need to get the cabinet on one of its sides, because we have to do this and then the other side too. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. I'm going to put this blanket down so we don't ruin our edges as I tilt it. Okay, so we basically have to repeat all of this now on this little short area right here. Okay. So let's clean that up. How does it feel? Pretty smooth. Just gonna sand it smooth just a little bit. You know, I'm looking at this, it was kind of silly that we painted this black, right? Actually, it was never my intention really to spray paint the sides and the front, really. I was more worried about the particle board and the artwork when it gets pushed back. Okay, so we gotta do this little area here. I think I'm gonna take a straight edge here and just kind of cut some of this on the ground. See if I can make like some, at least have like one really straight edge I can work with. This stuff is so fragile, man. I could just see that it's like kinking up and stuff. Really? Okay. And then let's go down here. Make this way wider than I need. All right. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so just trying to think of the best way to do this. Should I just line it up to the edge? Yeah, I think that's gonna be the best way. All right. So I think I'm gonna just come in here as tight as I can. And then go from there. I'm gonna get the adhesive off first before I spray. Really start this out. Don't be a John. This is going to be tricky. I should cut this. All right. Wish me luck, guys. I don't know if this is going to work. All right, here we go. I've never, ever have applied vinyl like this in a spot like this. I'm doing this for the first time, and I'm just kind of guessing here the best way to do it. Just trying to get it all the way as close to the edge as I can. And I think I did. I think I did actually a pretty good job. Not too bad. Annoying. All right, let's take our sharp X-Acto here. So the T-molding is going to go over this. It's surprisingly tricky to cut the edge of this. Like, my little cut here is not consistently flush, if you ask me. Now, when we put the T-molding on, it could wreak havoc with this. I'm going to let it really dry, and then we'll come back later with a new blade and just really scrutinize the cut. Right now, it just kind of wants to lift up. But I think that looks just fine. All right, now we need to do the other side. So let me lift the cabinet and we'll flip it over. All right, I have the game on its other side, and I have a piece of vinyl here ready to go. I guess I'll just do the same thing here. This feels crazy smooth, man. So let's wash it down, clean it a little bit with the rapid tack. And then we'll peel this paper back. And we'll do the same thing. So this is totally different than how I've ever done this stuff. But I'm trying to butt up right against this edge here. That looks pretty good. It's weird now, like what is that? I get some of these little dimples in here, and it's just like this little, like, what is it? It's like a little piece of dust that causes like this massive volcano. That looks great. It really does. I mean, this is definitely easier than painting, would you say? I mean, you got to be careful though, because like right here, there's just like a little fleck. Your surface has to be just absolutely clean and flawless. It literally amplifies everything. Like everything. All right. Okay. Boy, cutting this stuff sucks. Oh, shut up. Trying to be as flush as I can here. But then we end up with this little like tear here that I have to repair. See this? And it's like you're fighting it. Okay. Well, I think that looks really good, honestly. That front was hairy. This was actually pretty straightforward, and it looks legit. That looks perfect. So I'm not happy with how this edge is trimmed here, but I'm gonna make sure that we're kind of semi-wrapping around when we put the T-molding on, and I think that'll help our situation. All right, let's put the cabinet up and see what it looks like, and kind of scrutinize what we just did. All right, let's take a look here. What's going on? All right, let's take a look here. How do we do? Actually, it looks pretty good. Again, the front was a disaster. It was a stressful disaster. But man, you can't see any of those things I was seeing before with the light. No, I think it looks, actually it looks great. Yeah, it's fine. It was just a little bit stressful. We did it. So I do think though, before I put the T-molding on, I'm gonna go to the hardware store and I'm gonna get some like razor blades to end all razor blades, and I'm gonna try to just really try to get this a little bit flusher than it is right now, because there are some areas of the vinyl that are just hanging over just a little bit. Honestly, it's weirdly hard to trim that stuff. And I remember going through that with the Pac-Man. It's like this stuff is just it's kind of brittle, you know, it's crinkly. You hear that? You know, and the blade and it are not, they just don't, it just doesn't work right. Whereas like the really high-end side art material, you know, that we're gonna be using for the Mortal Kombat here, that stuff's just a little more forgiving when you're going down it with the razor blade. All right, so what do you want to do? I think I want to look at the control panel before we stop here, because we're going to be putting new labels on that, and we got to figure out a plan for that. So let me get that, and we'll go on here. All right, let's take a look here at the control panel. So we're going to be putting new decals on this thing on the side and on the front. Right now, the front is missing the decal. It should say Mortal Kombat 2 up here. And then on the sides, there's midway decals. You can see the original one is still on here. So we have to basically remove all this stuff and strip it. So what I want to do is basically remove the control panel itself from here. This hinge right here. So we got to remove that. And then I guess start stripping the thing. All right, so I got my socket set here, and I'm just going to basically pop this thing off the hinge here. Okay, and then we have a screw that's like holding this chain on right here. So I gotta get rid of that. Looks like it's just hand tight, all right. So let's take all these. And let's see if this will come off. So I need to pop these nuts out of here. Which are these dudes? It's coming off. It's kind of irritating here. It doesn't want to pop off very easily. All right, there we go. And then here's those 4 carriage bolts. Okay, so I'm gonna take all of these and just kind of put them in our little parts bin. All right, so this portion, this part right here, I consider to be done, okay? New joysticks, new buttons, new overlay, etc. But the bottom is not done. So let's take a peek here, what we need to do. So basically I need to strip this and the sides, and we need to remove the T-molding. So the front right here, this does have artwork on it, I could see it, and this was painted or something. So we basically have to strip this thing just like we did the cabinet. And the edges, boy, we need some Bondo work on here. Look at that. So the edges are a little chewed up. All right, so we're gonna stop right here because I need to go to the store and get some stripper. I don't have any on hand, so I'll go tomorrow. I'll grab some stripper, but we're gonna have to strip this whole thing, the sides, the front. We're gonna have to Bondo the edges. This control panel right here is a bit of a project in itself. especially right here. This is all chewed up, and we're gonna have to figure out a way to kind of build this up. I'd be worried that Bondo, man, maybe Bondo will be good enough. I don't know. We'll address that in the next video, but really, what we did today, I feel pretty good about, you know, looking at the black here, I think it looks actually really great. When it was on its back and the light was on it, and it just seemed really graphic, all the little things I was seeing, but I don't see them now. It looks absolutely great. So that final is pretty good. I just don't like cutting it. Like, it kind of fights the X-Acto blade because it's so brittle. But just looking at the sides here, that piece we put on, that's perfect, man. This is gonna look really sharp. So hopefully next video we'll have the artwork and we'll put the side art on, and then the T-molding, we'll redo the control panel, we'll start putting everything back together, and then the cabinet will be really done. We might have to address the coin door too. I haven't even looked at that. So, actually it's in pretty good shape. So our coin doors might not need anything. So maybe we'll just put them together. They don't look like they're bad at all over there. So hopefully that's not too much work there. And then we'll get the whole game together, and then we gotta start wiring it up. But we might end up bringing this down to the basement before it's actually working, and then we could finish it in the basement. But I could see now that we're gonna finish this cabinet for sure before it gets too cold, which is important to me. So I need this in the basement so I can get my cars in the garage for one, and also I just want this in the basement. So anyway, guys, why don't we go down to the basement? Let's do some viewer mail. Let's hang out for a little bit. We're in no hurry. All right, guys, let's go down to the basement. Woot. All right, guys, there you have it. That was part number, was it 9, 10? I don't even remember, of the Mortal Kombat Restore. Yeah, I know. You know, I really wanted to put the artwork on today, but we just couldn't. It wasn't here, so we'll address that in the next video. But we got the vinyl over, the black vinyl. I was kind of dreading that a little bit, so it looks pretty sharp. So we're all ready now for the next episode, which is going to be the episode. I cannot wait to get that artwork on. All right, let's do some stuff here. So I got a package here in the mail from Junt, okay? I have no idea what's in here. I thought we'd open it up together and see. I thought it'd be kind of fun. And actually, he sent it in a shoebox, an underarm. Actually, let's scrutinize his choice in fashion here. So he's wearing UA Micro G Optimum, size 9. Size 9. Anyway, let's open this up and see what's going on. I got my bayonet here, which is not the best box opener, honestly. But it looks cool. All right, let's see what's going on in here. All right, there's a letter. Hi, John. Please do try not to get any brown paint in this new pair of Mario boxers. With love from Texas, Junt, aka Justin Will. So actually, there's oh wow, dude, this is all right. Look at that, cool flat brim hat with the NES controller. This is, you know, Junt actually went to New York, to the New York Nintendo New York store, they call it now. So that's an awesome hat, Junt. Thank you. What's this here? Oh, a water bottle. Oh, that would be good for the table here when we're doing videos. Awesome, Junt. Thanks, pal. And here, of course, a new pair of Mario boxers. Now, if you guys know the story about the Mario boxers, if you're a longtime listener of the VGO podcast, you'll know the significance of this. Because I had an accident in a pair of Mario boxers probably 7-8 years ago. So now I have a new pair. So John, thank you. I love these. I will wear these, but I'll never send a photo though. Well, John, this is all awesome and very thoughtful. I love this hat, man. I'll totally rock this when I'm streaming. So awesome, John. Thank you very much. Cool stuff. You know, I have the best fans. And also, I'll show you this too. Cosmic Vector gave me this at Arcade Club in the UK. And this is actually a really special hat. It's made out of cork. It's totally cool. Look at this. Made in England. So Cosmic Vector, man, I want to thank you for this hat. I've actually worn it quite a few times. And also, when I was streaming, I wore this. But I like this hat. It's totally bizarre. and people see it and they're like, what is that? and it's made out of cork. So, anyway, let's move on. Actually, I want to share one more thing. So the Radical, okay? The Radical pinball, right? I love this thing, okay? And I'm totally into it. And we're not done talking about the Radical. I just got some insert decals from a gentleman in Russia on Pinside. But anyway, I'm totally into this thing. I love it. I still play it. I like it a lot. And we'll be talking more about this. I kind of want to maybe bling it out a little bit. I don't know. Maybe we'll do some mods or toys or something. But anyway, the flyer. Okay, so when I got this game, I was researching it heavily, right? And I kept looking at the flyer for the game. Actually, I'll show you the flyer right here. Okay, so you can see that weird looking guy kind of skateboarding over the table, right? And the thing is, I kept focusing on the skateboard that's in the flyer. I'm like, that skateboard, I want that skateboard for the wall, okay? So I started researching it, and I couldn't find much or really good quality images of it. And eventually, I found it was on Illinois Pinball or something. There was some kind of promotional thing they did because they were going to make a home version of Radical. And anyway, there was a little flyer or something that they scanned that had a really higher resolution image of the skateboard that's on the flyer. So I took that artwork and I vectorized it, okay, the best I could. I had to guess on some of the stuff because his hand or the trucks were in the way. And I sent that artwork to a skateboard print company, right? Now check this out. And I just got these back. I printed 3 of these, okay? But how cool is this? So that's the skateboard, literally, that's on the flyer. So I copied it and I made 3. I sent one to my friend Daniel in Georgia because Daniel's the one that helped me get this game, okay? He picked it up for me and shipped it here. So I gave him one because, Daniel, I owe you and thank you so much. The least I could do is send you one of these skateboards. And then I have one more skateboard that I want to give away. And if you're interested in winning the skateboard, I'm going to do a little contest, a very informal contest. You can win one of these skateboards, okay? I mean, one of a kind, right? These were never really made. I think the flyer, like the skateboard image that's on there, you can see the kind of the vinyl kind of crinkling. I think they just wrapped a skateboard from like Kmart and took the photo for the flyer. But anyway, I have one extra skateboard. If you want to win it, you have to send me an email, okay, at john@johnsarcade.com, john@johnsarcade.com. Send an email. In the subject line, put Radical Skateboard, okay, 2 words, Radical Skateboard, okay? And then just tell me why you want to win this, okay? And you can include a video, a photo, something that proves you're a skater guy, maybe even the picture of your Radical pinball machine, and then I'll randomly pick one. And also, if we get some interesting entries, I'll share the photos or videos here on the channel. But just send an email to john@johnsarcade.com, subject line, Radical Skateboard, and just tell me why you want to win this skateboard. I think it's pretty badass. And I'm going to get trucks for it, like the right trucks that are in the flyers and the risers, and all that. We're going to make this a truly badass old school deck and hang it on the wall somewhere. And I'll probably put grip tape on here. But I think this turned out pretty good. I had it printed at customskateboards.com. And I think they did a pretty good job. It's heat transfer. So anyway, all right, let's move on. Let's do some viewer mail. And if you guys want to participate in the viewer mail, you got to email them to me at john@johnsarcade.com, john@johnsarcade.com. It can be a question, it could be a comment, it could be anything you want. Just send it to john@johnsarcade.com. All right, first one here is from Jason Stark. Hey John, your friend Jason from Wisconsin. I got a couple questions for you, but first wanted to wish you and your family an early happy Thanksgiving. God, that's coming up soon. That's usually when I stop working in the garage too. And hope things are going well for you. Here are my questions. First, do you ever plan on going back to Lanes and Games Bowling Alley to visit your buddy Mike and see if he has Batman 66, Aerosmith, and Star Wars? All right, well, I have to tell you that Lanes and Games is no more. They tore that building down. That bowling alley in Cambridge, Massachusetts is kind of historic. It's been there a really long time. Like, I don't know how long, but something like 50, 60 years, okay? And my friend Mike, he operated inside there and had a little arcade with like about, I forgot, like 10, 15 pinball machines. And we've done a couple of videos there, but they sold that building because that real estate in Cambridge, Mass was worth a fortune. And so they sold that building. I believe that the bowling alley has since been demolished and it's now, it's going to be an apartment building or something. I guess that real estate was just worth that much that they sold it. So sorry, we can't go back there. But you know, I do have an Aerosmith pinball. It's not mine, but the other operator at the hangar has one. Maybe we can do a video on it. I think I did like a quick unlisted video. Question 2. Will you have 3 pinballs back in the basement or stay with 2? I would like to go back to 3 pinballs. I would like to get another maybe Williams System 11. Like, I would love a bonsai run. And also, let's not forget that we do have the Bronco pinball that I'm serious about finishing and fixing and restoring and bringing it down here. So either way, we're going to get 3 pinballs because I have a 3rd one in the garage, but time will tell, and I need time to work on that. And 3rd, do you and Jay have any brand new games coming to the hangar for 2018? Please let me know the answers to these questions. And I hope the Mortal Kombat Restore goes well. Your friend Jason from Wisconsin. P.S. Do you still want to get a Golden Tee Live for your collection? As I know a guy who can get you one for cheap. All right, so Jay and I, yeah, we plan on getting more games for the hangar. We just added a bunch of new games the last couple months here. And by the way, I plan on doing a year-end, when we do the year-end review down here, which is coming up soon, right? I told Jay that I also want to do a John and Jay's Arcade year-end review. So Jay and I will spend a day and we're going to go to all 3 locations filming, and we're going to just kind of review everything we learned over the past year, because we learned a lot about doing this and putting games on location. And so we're going to take our time and do that in a rather lengthy video at the end of the year here. But as far as what we've added recently or what we plan on adding, so like in Westfield, we just added 2 new skee balls. So we have skee ball now in Amherst and Westfield. And by the way, skee ball is our #1 game. The end. The end. Skee ball #1. It's not even a discussion. Skee ball is the #1 game. Period. That's what people want to play. So we have 2 of those in Amherst, and now we have 2 in Westfield. In Westfield, we just added Virtua Cop there, and we moved House of the Dead 4 there. In Amherst, we picked up a Time Crisis 3. A pair of linked cruising games. I don't know if you guys have seen those yet, but we've been adding a bunch of stuff and removing things. But we're finding, and I've said this before, it's mostly the gun games, the driving games, and the skee ball that get all of the play, and then some of the really iconic classics. So, but we'll talk about that soon. So, Jason, so I hope I answered your email. And yeah, I would like to someday get a Golden Tee Live, but it's rather pricey, and I can't justify it right now. It's kind of a lower priority. This one here is from Tom. Hi, John. I met you on Saturday at Arcade Club briefly. I thought of messaging you to tell you what I should have said in person. And again, I want to thank everyone I met at Arcade Club, at Play Expo Manchester. It was a whirlwind. It was just like, oh my God, I met so many people. I know you may have heard this 1,000 times, but after watching your videos for years, it's given me the confidence to restore my own games. Something that's given me great pleasure, and I feel internally thankful to you for. I just wanted to let you know either way, all the best, Tom. Well, Tom, thank you, man. That's a nice email, and it was nice meeting you and everyone there. And all these kind words mean a lot, so thank you very much. Next one here is from Josh. He says, raise your hand if you remember your local video arcade. What was your favorite game? Love your channel. You rock, Josh. So I do remember my local video arcade. You know, I grew up in the Chicago area, and there was a couple that stood out for me. The biggest one was Galaxy World. That was like in Carroll Stream, Illinois. Do you guys in Illinois remember that? That's long gone. And there's another one called like Pin Pan Alley that was multiple floors. It was like in Arlington Heights or something. Those are the 2 that really stood out. I used to play a lot of arcade games at the roller skating rink that was called Fireside in Hoffman Estates. And yes, I do remember my local video arcade. Do you guys remember yours? I guess you can leave comments below. And what's my favorite game? Well, we talked a lot about that on the channel. It's Donkey Kong. It's Donkey Kong and Pole Position. Those are my 2 favorite games still. It's funny, at Arcade Club, those are the 2 games I probably tried to play the most. I have a problem with that. Next one here is from Jason Wheeler. Hi, John. How's things going? I have a Vector Nintendo switcher in my DK cabinet. I think he means Vector Labs. That's a gentleman that makes a bunch of switchers. He has Donkey Kong Jr., Donkey Kong 3 with D2K and DK Remix with Deranged and Trainer. My question is, having the Vector switcher in it, or any switcher with switching between the games, would that hurt the PCBs sometime down the road? I'm not going crazy switching between the games, but just every once in a while when I feel like changing the games up. But this was something I just thought of. John, can't wait to see what you videoed overseas. Have a wonderful day, Jason. So, Jason, I think it's pretty low risk. Because there's like a relay in there that's basically switching power and the connections from one to the next. And I have a switcher in my Donkey Kong Jr. Because I also have a Donkey Kong 3 PCB, and if I hold in, I always forget the combination on this. If I hold in player 1, 2, and jump, I could switch to Donkey Kong 3, okay? But this is the Mark Space switcher, which he never really sold, but it's kind of the same idea as the Vector Labs one. But really, that Donkey Kong 3 board is just kind of sitting there idle, not getting any kind of power. And then when you do the button combination, it basically, it just hit a relay fires or something, and all the connections move from one board to the next. So I think it's really low risk. I do. Do you want to use like a JAMA switcher with like a super rare $3,000 PCB? No, I probably wouldn't do that, you know. But Donkey Kong boards are fairly common, and a lot of people fix them, so I think it's low risk. You probably don't want to do it with some prototype PCB or something totally priceless and irreplaceable. But I think just using some common boards like that, I've been using them for a long time. I've never had any trouble at all. I used to have a JAMA switcher too on my Street Fighter with Tetris. No trouble whatsoever. All right, next one here. All right, this one's from Fraser. So hi John, it was amazing for Finley and me to meet you. I heard you talking on the podcast about the DK Jr. game. So Fraser brought his son Finley, who was, I don't know, about 8 years old, and I met him at Play Expo, and he had a t-shirt on that said John's Quest for 100,000 points, Donkey Kong Jr. Let me show it to you. So I couldn't believe it. I was floored, and so I guess Finley was kind of inspired by my Donkey Kong Jr. series to get good at Donkey Kong Jr. And I showed up there, and he's playing, and he had like a 40,000 point score, which is really good. That is a good score. so anyway, it was a pretty cool time, and actually, I played a game of Donkey Kong Jr. with him. It was one of the highlights of my trip. I truly mean that. And so his father filmed that, and he sent me a clip here. And I guess I'll just play a quick clip of me and Finley playing Donkey Kong Jr. at Play Expo Manchester. Here you go.
Put it alongside, stand on it and watch him. Stand up. This is interesting council. What's that? Yeah, it's cool. What's that? Oh, the yeah. Oh my God! Oh, Finley! Oh! That was good. This is it! Right, come on, let's go. That was close. Don't always work.
I'm falling apart.
Come on, Ben. Let's do this. You got to let the boy win, didn't he? Oh, well, yeah, that's right. I want to see Mario's hideout. That's right.
Oh! I beat you!
You beat me!
High five! High five!
Good job. Good game.
That is gone. Let's put your name in, both your names in. I've got 6 both names in. So it wasn't job done today. Job done! Right, let's see this.
Good job, Finn. So yeah, how cool is that, right? So Finley and Fraser, was great meeting you, and everyone else I met at Play Expo Manchester and Arcade Club. What an amazing time. We'll be revisiting that topic very soon with some videos. I filmed a bunch of stuff, guys. So I got to edit this. Editing videos like this is one of my least favorite things to do. I'm not going to lie. but I will do it soon. But we really gotta get Mortal Kombat done because I'm getting scared now with the weather. So anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for subscribing and liking and commenting and all that good stuff. You know, I do have a podcast called Video Game Outsiders at videogameoutsiders.com. I've been doing that podcast for about 14 years or so. It's one of the longest running video game podcasts out there. We do it live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on the Riotcast Network at riotcast.com, or you can go to videogameoutsiders.com. I do that podcast with my friend Michelle. And you guys can also download the app. If you go to the iOS store or Google Play Store, there's a free app. It's the Video Game Outsiders podcasting app. It allows you to listen to all the new podcasts for free. And then there's also bonus content every month, like about 12 extra podcasts that you can get if you subscribe. And then also, we do stream live on Twitch at twitch.tv/John and Michelle. We try to do that every Thursday around 9 p.m. Eastern. And then also, in between, you know, I've been streaming Mario Odyssey on there. And also, I've been pushing that to our other YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/John and Michelle. So anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you very soon. Thanks again to everybody I met in the UK. You guys all rule. Later and bye.